Hey everyone, welcome back to Entertainment Edition, your go-to spot for all things pop culture, global boy bands, music icons, and everything fabulous in between. And today, we're taking a trip down memory lane to the early 2000s, a golden era for Asian pop culture. Now, if you're from Asia, especially Southeast or East Asia, chances are you've heard of F4. And if you haven't, oh honey, buckle up, because you're about to discover the group that set the whole continent on fire with boy band fever long before K-pop became the global phenomenon it is today. It all started in 2001, in Taiwan. A little TV drama called Meteor Garden hit the airwaves. Based on the Japanese manga series Hana Yori Dango, Boys Over Flowers, the show introduced us to four ridiculously handsome, rebellious, and ultra-rich high school boys from the fictional F4 clique. These boys were played by Jerry Yan as Dao Ming-si, Vic Zhou as Hua Zhe-lei, Vanice Wu as Mei Zuo, and Ken Chu as Shi Men. Overnight, they went from relatively unknown actors to full-blown Asian heartthrobs. But here's the twist. Their popularity didn't just stop at TV. These boys became a legit boy band, a music group called F4, and launched a pop career that would shatter regional records. Imagine the Beatles' mania, but in Mandarin, with spiky hair, leather jackets, and slow ballads that would make your grandma cry. The impact of Meteor Garden was unreal. In the Philippines, streets would be empty when the show aired. In Indonesia, malls played the soundtrack on loop. In China, bootleg DVDs sold like hotcakes. And in Thailand, fans camped out overnight just to get a glimpse of F4 during their promo tour. People weren't just watching the drama, they were obsessed with every detail. Dao Ming-si's curly hair, Hua Zhe-lei's brooding eyes, and of course, the iconic soundtrack like Can't Help Falling in Love and Lu Xingyu songs that topped charts across Asia. These four guys weren't just actors anymore. They became pop stars, fashion icons, and international ambassadors for the new wave of Asian pop culture. Okay, so let's talk about the music. After the wild success of Meteor Garden, Sony Music Taiwan signed the boys as a boy band, and boom! The group officially debuted as F4. Their first album, Meteor Rain, was released in 2001 and sold over 300,000 copies in Taiwan alone, and that's not even counting international sales. Their blend of pop ballads, dramatic lyrics, and romantic themes made teenage hearts flutter all across Asia. Think songs like Lu Xingyu, Meteor Rain, and You're My Only One. These weren't just songs, they were anthems of love and longing. Their style was smooth, emotional, and totally addictive, the perfect soundtrack for late-night pining or daydreaming about your high school crush. And every girl wanted to be Shan Sai, the female lead of Meteor Garden stuck between the bad boy and the gentle soul. F4 mania didn't just stop in Taiwan. They took over Southeast Asia, especially in the Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia. They even made waves in mainland China and Japan, where people were already fans of the original manga. In 2003, F4 toured across Asia, performing in sold-out arenas and being mobbed at airports. In the Philippines, they were welcomed like royalty. Fans screamed, cried, and threw flowers on stage. It was the kind of reception you'd expect from the Backstreet Boys or BTS. And get this, in 2004, the group rebranded briefly as JVKV using the initials of their names due to copyright issues with the original manga title. But for fans, they were always F4 in our hearts. Let's get personal, shall we? Dao Ming-si, Jerry Yan, the hot-headed, curly-haired rich boy with a heart of gold. His character arc from bully to devoted lover had all of us swooning. Jerry became the face of the franchise, with fans loving his intense glares and iconic bad boy charisma. Hua Zhe-lei, Vic Zhou, the silent, melancholic violinist who broke our hearts with just a glance. Vic brought sensitivity and elegance to the screen, becoming the quiet crush of millions. Mei Zuo, Vanice Wu, the charming, smooth dancer of the group. Vanice added flair and cool factor, and he later went on to become a solo artist, dancer, and even starred in Hollywood projects. Shi Men, Ken Chu. The sophisticated and loyal friend, Ken, was the mature one, often delivering wise advice with a cup of coffee. Ken's voice was velvety, and his solo songs? Chef's kiss. If you lived through the 2000s, you know the F4 look. Fur-lined jackets, long trench coats, over-the-top scarves, and the unforgettable feathered hairstyles that were more high-maintenance than a drama queen's emotions. Fans copied their fashion down to the accessories. Posters, CDs, and photo books sold out like crazy. Teen mags like Yes magazine in the Philippines had F4 covers that would vanish off the stands in hours. And don't forget fan clubs, official and unofficial, springing up in every city, organizing watch parties and fan meetups. There were F4 pillows, F4 mugs, F4 everything. As with all good things, the original F4 era eventually wound down. The group's last album, Waiting for You, came out in 2007. After that, the members began focusing on solo careers, acting, singing, hosting, and directing. Jerry Yan stayed mostly in acting and became one of Taiwan's top actors. Vic Zhou starred in a string of critically acclaimed dramas and films, showing off his serious acting chops. Vanis Wu went international, collaborating with artists like Kanye West and acting in U.S. films. Ken Chu ventured into writing and cooking, even releasing a cookbook. F4 didn't just start a craze, they created a blueprint. Without F4, we might not have had the same explosion of Asian boy groups dominating global screens today. K-dramas like Boys Over Flowers, the Korean adaptation, followed in their footsteps. Even Japan, Thailand, and China created their own versions of Meteor Garden. It became a multi-nation franchise, but the original, the F4 we fell in love with in the early 2000s, they remain untouchable. They sparked a wave of regional pride, showing that Asian actors and singers could be glamorous, dramatic, and world-class. They were a cultural moment that brought fans together across borders. Yes, there was a reboot. In 2018, a new version of Meteor Garden was released in China, featuring a fresh young cast and a modern aesthetic. While it gained new fans, older generations still clung to the 2001 original. Why? Because the 2001 F4 wasn't just a show, it was a vibe. It was angst, love, rebellion, and dreamy romance rolled into one unforgettable soundtrack. It was waking up early just to catch reruns, arguing over who was the hottest, and writing F4 lyrics in your school notebook. So, what's the verdict? F4 wasn't just a boy band, they were a phenomenon, a pop cultural wave that reshaped Asian entertainment. Whether you were Team Dao Mingxi or Team Hua Lei, whether you sang along to Liu Xingyu or cried over Shansai's heartbreak, F4 gave us moments we'll never forget. And that, my friends, is why F4 remains Asia's ultimate boy group craze of the 2000s. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like, comment your favorite F4 member, and subscribe for more iconic content here on Entertainment Edition. See you next time, and remember, some legends never fade.